Hi, welcome to another edition of Dave C. Straight from the Pit. In this episode, we're going to talk about 1983 Snake Armor, which the actual proper name, as you can see on the packaging here, was Battle Armor Snake, a suit of armor with 4 removable weapon pods. And here is the box, and it has the Hector Garrido art, famous 1980s G.I. Joe artist, who did all the drawings and the paintings for the vehicles and figures. And in 1982, the Snake Armor was $3.29 on this example from KB Toys, which was a very, very popular toy store in the United States. And here is the actual toy here, and it's a very very interesting toy, because a lot of people now like to get several of these to army build them. You can get them in different colors, of course, but this is the original 1983 white one, and it had that number 6 decal on the front there. Cobra decals on each sides of the head. It came with 4 interchangeable hands. And I remember this as a kid because my favorite one was the flamethrower, which is the one that I have on there right now. And the other hands were a claw and 2 other rocket hands. And I have the 1983 Cobra Soldier here because on the original box art, you can see it's displayed as having a 1983 Cobra Soldier being able to go inside this thing. And I remember as a kid, that was a very, very cool play option, and I did it a lot with my Snake Armor. It just snaps apart at the seam here. And you just kind of break that apart, and you put your guy in there, and then you close it back up, and it becomes an instant terror machine for Cobra Command. It first appeared on the Mass Device cartoon in 1983, as far as the Sumbo animated series goes. And here's a snippet of its very first appearance in that 5-part movie.
Something in there bothers Snake Eye's tripwire.
And I know better than to doubt Snake Eye's 6th sense, Scarlet. A little sweep and scan couldn't hurt. Stay back!
Here's a better look at the front of the box. You can see the Cobra Soldier kind of tucked away in there. You can see his eyes peering through the eye holes of the battle armor. It says, fits most Cobra Command and G.I. Joe figures. Figure sold separately. It didn't include the figure in the package. You had to get him on card separately. You can flip it around and look at the back of the box. It says, Battle Armor Snake, G.I. Joe, System Neutralizer, Armed Cloaking Equipment. Based on Cobra Command's top secret designs, Battle Armor is their newest advanced weapons system. You pretend there are powerful sensors and mood changers inside Snake that strengthen Cobra Command soldiers but brainwash G.I. Joe team members to think and act like Cobra. And as seen in the Marvel comic, issue number 19, a January 1984 issue, it actually displays this, where Snake Eyes gets trapped in one of these snake armors, and Dr. Venom uses it as a weapon for Cobra. And I'll show you a little bit of a snippet from that first issue in a bit. But let's continue looking at the box here. It says, easy to assemble battle armor, fits over G.I. Joe or Cobra soldiers. Actual size, simple snap together assembly. Removable arms and legs. Super realistic detail. Includes 4 neutralizers. Flamethrower, missile launcher, machine gun, power claw. And there's everything that it contains. As all the G.I. Joe packaging had in the 80s and early 90s, it always listed all the cool things that came with it, all the accessories. And I remember these things being more like models in a way, instead of just toys, because the details were quite intricate. And the packaging displayed that well as well, always. Sturdy construction for rugged play. Figure sold separately, and it has the flag point cut out. So whoever owned this one cut the flag point out and sent away for probably Cobra Commander mail away, perhaps, or whatever. But yeah, so there's a good look at the packaging, and we can pull this guy back up here again, have a look at him from different angles. And I remember as a kid, you could take these and place them on the back. That was really cool, because then you could march him around with all of his accessories on him, on his person. And I wanted to show you this one. In 2009, when Rise of Cobra came out, the movie that went into the theaters, for some of the G.I. Joe toys, they came out with the snake armor again. And this time they reissued it in black, which I think is really cool. And I remember back then, me and Shane saw it at a store, and we just had to get it. So there it is there. And then, of course, in 1984, a blue snake armor came out. In 1985, actually, it came out. And here it is here, a photo of it. And I remember for that one, it had Storm Shadow inside, instead of a Cobra soldier. And this one I distinctly remember, as sometimes I throw in my memory bank stories here, and I do have a very strong one about this one, so I'll share this with you. I was with my mom and my aunt and my nana at a mall in 1985, and we went to a store called The Bay, which was a store at the mall, the biggest mall in our area. But anyway, I distinctly remember seeing this snake armor there, and I was a little bit puzzled, because I had the white 1983 one from a couple of years earlier, and I didn't really understand what this was. So I didn't buy it, but later on when I was at home, I was like, oh man, I should have got that, because it had Storm Shadow in it, like that he could go in it, and I thought that would be cool, and also just that it was blue instead of white. And I wish I would have got one, because these things are worth like 10 times as much as a white one now, because they're kind of rare. But yeah, so that's a story about that one. In Mark Bellomo's second edition book from 2009, the snake armor appears on page 48, and there it is there. and it has a nice write-up about it. And I guess before I forget about it, to keep it sturdy, when you didn't have a figure inside, it had this piece here, and it would sit inside the figure to keep it upright. And that's what I was talking before, how you can stick the extra weapons on the back. So I've done that on this figure now. You can see here. I think that's a really, really neat feature. And as I was saying before, Snake Armor first appeared in issue number 19, a January 1984 issue, and there it is there. And I was going to crack this one open and you know, go through page by page and show you it, but I do have a smaller version of this issue that I set out on the flag here. And here it is here. It's the G.I. Joe Comics magazine. And it's more readily available instead of taking that one off the wall. So I thought I would flip to the first page where it appears. And here it is here. And you can see that Snake Eyes is scrambling to get inside this thing. And he doesn't know yet what it does to a G.I. Joe once a G.I. Joe is inside of it. But he finds out here when Dr. Venom is actually controlling the suit. And Dr. Venom has Snake Eyes and Quinn inside of the suits that he's controlling. For those of you that don't know, Dr. Venom was a Cobra scientist before there was Dr. Mindbender. This was in like 82, 83. So Larry Hama used him in the book as a crazy scientist. And you can see here that Quinn and Snake Eyes are kind of, I think, attacking the Joes here. And Snake Eyes is trying to fight the process here, and he actually overrides it. And spins around and turns and fires at the Cobras. And by shooting Quinn's suit, he's able to free Quinn. And Quinn goes after Dr. Venom. And for those of you who don't know much about Quinn, he was an Inuit guy. You could call him Eskimo, I guess, back then. But anyway, he had a bit of a vendetta with Dr. Venom. They really hated each other. And so yeah, you can see here Quinn is getting his revenge. And he actually ends up killing Dr. Venom. I think that happens on the next page here. Dr. Venom actually shoots Quinn in the back. But then Quinn has a grenade in his hand. And he throws it at Venom. And that was it for Dr. Venom that day. But yeah, a lot of the early issues like this were written so well and had different characters that didn't appear in the cartoon and didn't have figures made of them. And Dr. Venom and Quinn were two very powerful figures. And Snake Eyes was a really good friend of Quinn, and that's why he's upset there that Quinn died and Dr. Venom died at the same time. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that look into the Marvel book about the Snake Armor. And I hope that you enjoyed this review on the Snake Armor. Okay, see you guys later. I thought I would end this video by talking about a recent toy trip. We went to a local toy show, and because of the COVID outbreak, A lot of these shows were canceled over the last 2 years, but we were lucky enough to go to one this last weekend, and actually brought my wife with me for the first time. She had never been to one of these before, and she was impressed by it. You know, we would always call them nerd conventions because, well, you know why. But anyway, yeah. So I was able to find something that I've been looking for a while. It's a 1989 vehicle, and here it is. Here, I'll try to grab it and show it to you. It's a 1989 Cobra Hiss-2 tank. And it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be, and it actually holds 4 guys in the back compartment that can be pushed forward after you load it, and the 4 of them can be transported. There's a gunner spot, the big cannon. Then there's 2 drivers, and down here is a port that drops, and then the drivers are entered into it. And yeah, it's just a really cool tank, and it's kind of the replacement, the Cobra replacement for the old '83 Hiss tank, which a lot of Joe fans really like. Here's one here, of course, and but yeah, it's a lot bigger than the original Hiss. Kind of like maybe a German, you know, early Panzer compared to a Tiger tank, or even a King Tiger. Just a big size difference there. But anyway, yeah, I thought I would show that. At one point during the show, after we had bought that tank, my wife actually carried it out of the car because I didn't want to carry it around with me while I was looking at the vendors. So anyway, on the way out the door, some Joe fans were coming in, and they were saying like, oh look, there's a Hiss-2. That's awesome. Like kind of saying it to their kids. And another guy came in, and he's like, oh, awesome tank. I'm a Joe guy too. Kind of saying stuff to my wife. So that was kind of our first taste of seeing other people other than me get excited about this stuff. So that was a cool kind of thing. And another purchase that I chose to make was this 1988 carded hit and run, which is a really cool find because you don't see too many of these when you go to a show, and when you do, they're like, you know, a lot of money. So this one still has the Super Trooper 1988 sticker on the bottom, which is kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, just happy to get this guy, and I'm gonna do probably a video on this one at some point coming up. But yeah, that was a nice surprise to be able to get that one. So okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. And take her easy. Okay.
Just how you feel.